Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All the Mods 10, and we've made some upgrades, baby! Now, yes, we do still have our original setup here a little bit to the right-hand side, and we have some Ars Nouveau trees getting stacked up right here. Now, this is, of course, going to be our humble abode that we are going to increase as the time goes on. And, of course, it does have a basement, but that's a secret for another day. I also might just not be finished with it right now. First and foremost, what we're going to do today is make sure that there's a light in the sky, and so that way I can teleport back and forth between all these different places by using on the map, waystone. Now the waystone is going to go somewhere in our courtyard kind of as a centerpiece, and honestly it's probably going to get moved later, but for right now it's going to go right about here. That being said, as you can see, I did build the building gadget with the Allthemodium we got last episode. I still have about 3 ingots, and yes, I could make a pickaxe, but there's something we want to create before that so that way we can use it as a pickaxe. And speaking of Allthemodium, we still have the mining dimension that we are slowly but surely generating enough ore to last me a lifetime. Stuff from ancient debris to diamonds to a full 1024 stack of raw iron. And trust me, we're gonna need that and all the raw osmium we can get. Of course, I have about 3 different facilities going here, very low tier facilities, minus this netherite generator, being worked to filter in and keep this just afloat. Because right now this is honestly proccing every couple of seconds in comparison to it having to fill up and then get down and then fill up again and get down. It's actually producing enough power to kind of like keep it bobbing, if that makes sense. But hopefully in this episode what we're going to create will eliminate all 3 of these and push out enough power to this that this will fill up to 1 million FE like that. As we fall asleep, of course, the only thing that for me, I would say that actually kind of works with this for, of course, mid-game power that we're going to need for Mechanism is going to be Mechanism. But to power Mechanism, we're going to need something that we can use and we have right now without taking away from the mining dimension. And as we saw in the background, we could actually be using one of these furnaces that we've upgraded with the Iron Furnaces mod to be the power supply with an augment called the Generator Augment. Now, of course, with the augment generator, it's going to right-click to insert the augment. Heat from the furnace will generate power. The furnace, though, can no longer smell items. So if I put raw ore in it, it won't work. But realistically, as you can see here, there's a fuel source that heats up and will fuel for power. Now, with just a little bit of coal inside the diamond furnace, you can see that it's nothing going to it, but with some universal cables hooked up, it looks like these are actually about to be full fairly fast, and now this is starting to back up, which seems to be producing a decent amount of power per tick. Now, with power going straight into metallurgic infuser, what we're going to do is we are actually going to make our way towards a wind generator. Now, the wind generator is going to require a lot of different things, but realistically, we're going to use those over in the mining dimension. Now, when we're looking at Mechanism, I'm just going to show you how the infuser works. Basically, redstone goes into the yellow spot, which is going to fill this left side. Now, the first and foremost we need to make is the energy tablets. Energy tablets required infused alloy. Just left-clicking it, and then up here, going to the infuser, you can see it requires redstone, 10 millibuckets on the left-hand side, and a copper ingot. So with the redstone in on the left-hand side, and then a copper ingot in, it's going to slowly but surely make it, and it's going to make infused alloys, and it's going to allow us to, I believe, go up to 64 if we really need it. Of course, I only need 5, but you can do this for anything, and of course, the basic control circuit also is going to be using this, using osmium instead. But I have 5 of those, so it shouldn't really matter. Now, with a wind generator, which seems very small in my hand, we're going to go straight into the mine dimension. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. Now, all these are creating what seems to be about 5,000 FE per tick, it looks like. But this also, the builder requires a lot of power to be useful towards this. What we're going to do is just place this down. I'm going to show you when we place it down. It's a lot larger than what was in our hand. But this is about 20 or one, I can actually see 720 FE per tick. Now, 720 FE per tick is actually a decent amount. And all we're going to do is we're going to place this right about here. And it's going to straight into the line. And this now is, it's still bottlenecking, but not really if we're like the general sense of it. And of course, you can install a muffler upgrade so that way you don't have to hear the. But all this is getting a couple of these along this line here, and this thing will, no matter what, not be losing power. We just have to basically make it so that way it can continuously hold the power instead of saying not enough power. Because as we keep looking in this, it's still generating a good amount of ore, but it could be a lot faster. So with this setup, I'm going to, in a general sense of it, get all the furnaces and the Powah mod out of here and replace the whole back line with these wind generators. He's just standing there, menacingly. Now, of course, Mekanism does have a lot of different upgrades to it, but one of them is the speed upgrade. As you can see, you can install a maximum of 8 speed upgrades, and then the ones that aren't grayed out down here are what the machine can use. So you can use a muffler, you can use an energy upgrade, which makes it more efficient, and then of course it can have a speed upgrade. I'm going to install all 3 of these speed upgrades into it, and this is going to make it so that way the copper is going to be used and used a lot more faster, making infused alloys a lot faster. And just like that, we are done with the almost empire of wind generators that I have right here in front of me. Now, yes, this is generating enough power that, as you see from the Y level, it's digging down one by one, one by one, one by one, and actually placing a lot, and I mean a lot of different ores in here. You can see it fluctuating at different spots as it comes across some ores. They're right there, just like this last time. As you can see here, no matter what, it has 1 million FE being ticked on 24/7. Is this overkill? 1000%, because even all of these are filled up to the brim with energy, and none of them, and I mean none of them, are even faltering when it comes to whether or not it has enough energy. That being said, we will never have to mine again for any type of ore within the 3 facilities of the end, nether, and the overworld. And of course, ancient debris is also part of this, and prosperity shards and inferium, which we will all get to in later episodes. One thing we want to add to this kind of playthrough is a 1x1 drawer. Now, functional drawers have a lot of different one of these upgrades, but this is the one we want, where every 300 ticks it generates 1 obsidian. And of course, dripping upgrades are required of it, but of course dripping upgrades are required of it, plus a water generator upgrade. A water generator upgrade is pretty simple, plus the lava ticks. Let me just create it. So like I said, functional storage has a lot of different uses. Of course, the front-facing panel should be easy enough. If you right-click something into it, it would be put into it. But that's just a display. If you hit it on the right, left, up, down, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not the front-facing one, it has these 4 little dots right here. You can see them. Under the utility, you can place these obsidian generators, just like how we used for the dripstone upgrades for our power generation. And as you see, you can put all 3 of them, and I believe every 300 ticks, it will generate 3 obsidian. That was almost perfect timing, but yes, 3 out of 2,000 obsidian. And this was just passively generating obsidian. The next thing we needed to do was wait for nighttime. After creating the obsidian generator, and put all those in there, and we're gonna make our waystone. Now that's why we needed the obsidian for the obsidian, or the obsidian generator for this obsidian. We do have stone bricks and another chest, but we need this warp stone. I need 4 ender pearls. So I'm gonna just fight some endermen here at nighttime and wait to see whether or not I get an enderman. Now, except for fighting, what we actually did was we went and we got ourselves 2 villager clerks. Now this one on the right hand side has Bottle of Enchanting, which has actually been really good for us. The one on the left, of course, has the ender pearls that we were looking for in exchange for 5 emeralds. Which, how did I get so many emeralds? Mine Dimension actually does mine emeralds and has emeralds in it, so kind of self-explanatory there. Now with everything together, that is going to be the waystone in which we can place down and call home. And of course, we can go to a couple different places here. Random tower is closest to where we found the Allthemodium. And this one was another random tower that I found like all the way over here in a village. Now we go back to talking about a mechanism. And one thing that we need to make or want to make is a precision sawmill. I'll show you why here in a second. Now, with the precious sawmill acquired and hooked up, all we need is a little bit of logs, sticking them straight into the sawmill, and it is a little bit loud. So that while that's working in the background, let me tell you a little bit about it. The sawmill basically breaks it down for the sawdust, and that's what we're going to use when we talk about the cardboard box. Now, the cardboard box is going to help us with next episode when we get into Applied Energistics 2. Now, I'm not going to do a full breakdown next episode of Applied Energistics 2. What I will say is I'm going to be following, of course, the almighty, praise be, chosen architects. I'm going to be following his build, not to a T, but just enough to help us explore what Applied Energistics can do. And that's still going. All right, with that turned off now, all we have to do is take the sawdust, put it in a 2x2, and we do get the cardboard box. Unfortunately, we're going to need a couple more of these cardboard boxes in hopes that we find a flawless bud. I'll talk about that next episode because we not only have up here one crash site we can go to, but last episode we found the second crash site as well that we can go to and see exactly how many flawless buds we can find. But to end this episode off, one thing that we want to do is continue building, and to make that, we're going to need what is called an extractor. Now, we don't really need the extractor, but we want the extractor for a lot of different of these outcomes. As you see, there's 28 pages of things this one item can do. Obviously, it has an orientation side, so when we talk about this, right, we're talking about an amethyst shard comes out of the extractor that is on top of a budding amethyst with water logged to the side. So that water, that means that no matter what, the amethyst has to be right there. The water can be on any and all sides that it really wants to be, and then the extractor, same way, it can be on any and all sides. But the cool thing that we want to do is get the Applied Energistics to citrus quartz dust out of a flawless budding with what seems to be a waterlogged extractor, and then you get the dust. But when we are talking about building specifically, the one special thing that we're really looking for is doing stone. And of course, stone is lava with water, with a magma block, and stone underneath. A lot of things. But you get the extractor, place on top of the stone, and you get infinite stone all you want. So now I don't have to furnace down any of the stone within those furnaces. We can probably just set it up right over here on the right hand side and call it good. Now this is in the basement, okay, so I gotta make sure I keep the camera to this corner so that way nothing gets exposed. But obviously magma block, then a stone block, and then we have the actual extractor, water on the left and lava on the right. And now you can see by this, like, animated indicator, it's good. We're going to put an orc drill on top. And every single, I would say probably like, every single 2 seconds, it's creating a stone block that I can then technically smelt to get this smooth stone. And I'm definitely going to need this for building this basement and other projects I have in mind. I do hope you all enjoyed. Like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I could have done better. Tell me what I could have done worse. The base is coming together, and so is the mindset of what all the mods 10 is. Don't forget to come back next episode to see exactly what we do with Powah and Mekanism, and of course progression towards the basement down below. Also, if you want, give me some name suggestions for these guys. I gotta hopefully give them names, and I'm really hoping that I can kind of just put name tags on them. If not, right here in the courtyard, we'll put some animals in there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. With everything going, I hope you all enjoyed. Bye-bye.